Why do destructive political systems often weaken or attack the family? This is not only about power, money, or economic control. History shows that totalitarian regimes, including communist systems and Nazi ideology, were not satisfied with controlling institutions. Their deeper goal was reshaping the human being. And the strongest obstacle to total control has always been the family. The family is not built on ideology. It is built on loyalty, love, trust, shared memory, and long-term continuity. These bonds are natural, not imposed. They create horizontal connections between people that exist independently of the state. Totalitarianism seeks vertical control, authority flowing from the center downward. Strong family structures create alternative centers of loyalty. If a person's primary identity is rooted in family, lineage, or community, it becomes harder for centralized systems to dominate their worldview completely. Historically, many cultures valued ancestry and dynastic continuity. Educated people once thought in terms of generations, not only individual lifetimes. Genealogies were carefully preserved. The Old Testament includes detailed family lines not by accident, but because identity was connected to heritage. Knowing one's ancestors created long-term responsibility and continuity. Totalitarian ideology disrupts this continuity. In communist systems, the ideal was often the new man, an autonomous individual detached from traditional structures and loyal primarily to the party. The concept later described as Homo Sovieticus referred to a personality shaped by state ideology rather than family tradition or independent moral frameworks. When loyalty shifts from family to centralized authority, the state becomes the primary source of identity. This pattern was not unique to communism. Nazi ideology also sought to reshape family structure in ways aligned with state goals. Children were placed into youth organizations that emphasized loyalty to ideology over loyalty to parents. Education systems were designed to replace traditional authority with state-directed belief. The goal was not only political obedience, but psychological transformation. Strong families create independent thought. They transmit values across generations. They create internal moral systems that may resist propaganda. When people trust their family more than the state, centralized control weakens. Modern systems function differently, but share structural similarities. In contemporary techno-capitalist or techno-feudal environments, people increasingly interact through centralized digital platforms. Social bonds shift from direct human contact to mediated communication. Algorithms shape perception. Attention becomes fragmented. When families weaken, individuals become more isolated and easier to influence. Strong family unity does more than provide emotional comfort. It creates resilience against manipulation. It builds trust networks outside centralized systems. It supports long-term thinking rather than short-term ideological reactions. Sociology confirms that communities with strong family structures tend to show greater social stability. Crime rates are lower. Psychological well-being is higher. Intergenerational support reduces dependence on centralized institutions. This does not mean families are perfect. Every family contains conflict, difference, and imperfection. But the structure itself provides continuity. Authoritarian systems often attempt to redefine or weaken traditional bonds because alternative loyalties limit control. If identity is rooted primarily in ideology, it becomes easier to shape belief. When families maintain strong internal trust, propaganda loses effectiveness. Shared experience allows individuals to compare narratives with lived reality. It is also important not to oversimplify. Not every political system consciously seeks to destroy families. However, systems of total control often recognize that independent structures of loyalty reduce centralized power. The family functions as a micro-community. It transmits values, culture, and memory. It builds horizontal solidarity rather than vertical obedience. When individuals are detached from deep personal bonds, they may become more dependent on institutional validation. Social media approval replaces intergenerational recognition. Digital identity replaces personal continuity. Yet resilience remains possible. Families that communicate openly, share values, and maintain mutual respect create environments resistant to manipulation. They form networks of trust that extend beyond political systems. History repeatedly demonstrates that centralized power rises and falls. But families, traditions, and interpersonal loyalty often endure across centuries. Strong family bonds do not eliminate political conflict. They provide stability during